Okay, so I just recorded the dish soap video. It's gonna be called something with dish soap, but you don't know the contents yet, so stay tuned for that. And I thought I'd make this video because I've been wanting to make this video. I've talked about this stuff in the How to Be Happier video, but in that video I talk like a drugged up person because I was not very experienced at talking in front of a camera, and I still have a long way to go. But I think it's much easier to listen to me nowadays in the, videos that have passed, and this video too. And especially in these unfiltered videos, because I used to do unfiltered videos and they didn't, they were not very enjoyable to watch. I talked like a druggie. And now, just because I said that, I had a long pause. Anyways, you're still here, hopefully. What I want to talk about is emotional pain and how to deal with it. And there's only really one way of dealing with it. There are infinite ways of dealing with it, actually, but they all do this same thing. Okay? It's like you could run, you could jog, you could walk, but essentially all you're doing is you're putting one foot in front of the other. That's what I'm trying to say here. There are many ways of doing it, but the same thing is still gonna happen. The same thing still has to happen. And the thing is, you've learned to put one foot in front of the other, but you haven't learned how to deal with your emotional pain. Your parents didn't teach you this, school didn't teach you this, and maybe you haven't looked this up, how to deal with it. And I don't think you understand it. Because most people think that things happen to them, but it's only your reaction that matters. And most of you on this channel are aware enough to see this, but my mother, who will watch this video as an example, isn't aware enough to know this, and that's why she gets into trouble sometimes. In the home, not outside, of course. She's a lovely person everywhere, actually. I love you, mother. She'll get really happy at seeing that, hopefully. But anyways, the first thing you need to know is this example, to understand this example. So, let's say there's a person who's 1 kilometer away from you, and he says a bad word to you, deliberately. He knows you're there, but he knows you can't hear him. He says this, you don't hear him, you don't feel anything, but he said the bad word, right? And now he's standing 2 meters in front of you and he says it, and you hear it. In both situations, the other person did exactly the same thing. But in one situation, you got mad, right? Because you heard it. Now, I'm not saying it's a very conscious thing to say bad things to other people, but I believe it is unconscious to react in a bad manner if someone says something bad to you. Because, again, this example illustrates that the words don't have any meaning. The only thing that has a meaning is your reaction, the way you interpret it. And sometimes this reaction is involuntary. Sometimes you get angry or upset without wanting to be angry or upset. But the thing you have to recognize is that, okay, you have mental, emotional patterns that are gonna flare up in certain situations, and now we have emotional pain. And now when you have emotional pain, you know that it's not the other person's fault or the situation, it's just the way I handle it, okay? It's just the way I handle it. Now, how should you handle it? Sometimes you can, if you're thinking and thinking and thinking, you can just start breathing, and you drop all of that, and the tension in your body goes away and you feel relaxed. Sometimes you feel like something is making it so that you can't breathe. If you've ever had an anxiety attack, you know that it becomes hard to breathe. You feel there's a lot of pain over in this area. You feel like your heart is, like you have a cage around your heart, or like your solar plexus is burning. There's something really heavy over here, right? And you don't like that feeling, and it's usually what makes people want to scream or attack, because they don't know what to do about this feeling. Something takes over them and they just need to do stuff to get distracted from this stuff. And that's also why people love movies and watching their phone, because when they're alone, they feel this stuff and they don't want to feel it. And if you want to be at peace and truly live your life, you have to deal with this stuff. When it flares up, when you're alone, whenever it is that you feel it. What you need to do is first of all, try to, let it go. Just say, okay, I'm not gonna let this be in me. If it goes away, fantastic. Usually, for me at least, it doesn't. You still feel it. You're calm, you're breathing. It still feels really, really bad over here. The only thing you can do in that situation is accept that you feel like that. Yes. Have you ever questioned why it is bad to feel bad? No, you haven't. Why is that? Well, the thought hasn't come to you. Well, let it come to you. Why is it bad to feel bad? Why are you judging the thing that you're feeling? Why are you resisting something that is within you that you can't do anything about? The only thing, and I know the answer might, be boring or pessimistic, but no, it's optimistic. The only thing you can do in that situation is accept how you feel. And if you accept that and you go deeper into the feeling, then you'll know that, okay, this isn't bad after all. This is just a feeling. This is just the way I'm feeling. It has nothing to do with me. It's just something that I'm feeling. It's not you. It's just something you're experiencing, right? It's not you. It's just something you're experiencing. It's an emotion. You're angry. You might be angry, but that's not you. That's just something that has taken over you. It's the same with that persistent bad feeling over here. It's just a feeling. Don't identify with it. Watch it, observe it, accept it. And Thich Nhat, I believe his name is pronounced, a very famous Buddhist monk, he says, take care of that emotional pain like a mother takes care of its baby. Give it love. That's the only way to get through, pain in general, emotional pain. Take care of it. Observe it. Don't be afraid to do that. Don't resist it. Don't judge it. Just observe it. And I won't tell you what happens when you do that. You can figure that out for yourself. I don't think I need to say anything, except that if this video gave you a lot of ideas, then I'd suggest you check out 3 people. To begin with, Eckhart Tolle. Then you can go over to Thich Nhat, and then Jiddu Krishnamurti. All of those 3 will teach you a lot about life. And ultimately, their teachings surpass even the teachings of this YouTube channel. Presence and consciousness and being very aware of what you're doing is much more important than health even, because otherwise you can be the healthiest person in the world, but you can go around dreaming, being angry at people. So for mental health, you need consciousness. That's the key to mental health. And with that said, go and achieve excellent health. I know you can do it.